Hey guys, cleaning up the desk here. Gotta make sure that everything's clean and nice. Can't have a mess, you know? Like when you invite people into your home, then you have to have it clean. So yeah, cleaning up a little. First time that we're back in the office. Like yesterday was the first day. And I'm very glad to be back in the office. I missed this. I really missed this. So yeah, welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my gardening live stream, plant live stream. We don't really put a label on what we do here. And we do what's fun. You know, if I find something that we haven't done that's fun, we will do it. Okay. Yeah, today we will probably move a few seedlings here and there. I have seedlings in containers that we are bringing in. Hey, good morning, you two. Greetings, Trond and Per. Thank you for being here. Hey, Dave. Good morning. Thank you for being here. We are back inside with the live stream. And I really missed this, you know? Like outside, it's bad weather. And indoors, we have a little garden. Little gardening inside when the weather is bad. I love that. So yeah, great to be back. Thank you for being here. We'll just move a few seedlings here and there. I have brought a bunch. Let me show you what I have here. Seedlings that we have planted in winter. Yeah, now we have to make sure that they are going into separate pots. Maybe we're singling them out again. A few of them need new soil. And I also want to do some seed stuff later. Always happy to take questions and all. So thank you guys. We are back at Halloween. It's Halloween again. I'm very happy to get back to my usual Halloween routine. So by the way, I have continued to watch The Mummy. The Mummy movie that came out recently. Like it was so spooky that I couldn't watch it for like, I had to take a break in between, but I continued to watch it and it's great. I'm sorry to hear, I mean, on one hand, sorry to hear about the rain, but on the other hand, it was probably so dry where you live, probably too, right? Like over here, it hadn't rained in weeks. Like we got maybe 2 big rainfalls in the last couple of months. Really not so many. I walked past a little river that goes nearby. That one's completely dry. Couldn't find any water in it, you know? Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a tick the whole summer. And I'm really happy about it. I mean, that's the positive side to it. When it's really hot, the ticks can't really reproduce. I think they need humidity to lay their eggs or that their eggs survive. I don't know, but when it's really hot, I have fewer ticks here, and I'm happy about it. So yeah, little bit of rain. Like I was walking through the garden yesterday, and I was looking at the seedlings. I had like in the last few years, we had a lot of summers where it constantly rained. Like where it was raining from maybe May to August. Like we had many summers where there were multiple months of rain. And during these months, it was so hard to grow cacti outside. I had so many that had skin problems that didn't look good. And right now with the constant drought, the cacti look great. The cacti looked like I've had them under the best conditions, you know, and it had only rained twice. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hello, Lucy. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. We are kind of developing, you know. In the beginning, we've been the secret tip, you know, like the secret underdog, but I think it's making the rounds. Okay, let's get started here. I want to move a few seedlings. And the reason is just that after a certain time, the soil can become a little stale, have a pH problem here and there. And in order to avoid that, repotting is a good way to get rid of all the old problems, and we are doing that. I was born in Saarland, Germany. So I consider myself more like a Saarländer than classic German, you know, like it's a different kind of German. So yeah. Okay, I have new soil. A little bit of sowing soil here. And that's what we will use today. Mostly trying to really just give the roots a new chance, new soil. Very often when you have the cacti in the soil over one season, depending on how much you fertilize, either there's too little, there's not enough nutrients in the soil, or there's too much, or you have a salt problem. Happens very often. Oh, yeah, she's here. Wait. Here she is. I haven't been using it the whole summer, and to be honest, it's the worst kind of watering can that you can imagine. But we will always keep it. It's part of the channel. So yeah, we will see. Maybe we're bringing her back. I try not to use her too much because it's leaking. Thing is leaking all over the office. Okay, we will use it. Yeah, I really missed the indoor live stream. Thank you. Yeah, I really missed this. It's like in winter, it's like the sun is going up, you know, have a little gardening in the morning. Always makes me feel a little better. So yeah, I'm removing the seedlings from the soil here, and I'm careful. I don't want to, like, I'm sure there are some insects in there. Every time I'm repotting, I might have to get up and bring a spider out. I'm sure it will happen again, but for now it hasn't. Trying to get rid of the soil. Check out the root system that this one has. Pretty organic soil, you know? That's great to hear. That's great to hear. I'm not sure if this is like a quote, but if not, I like it too. It's very healthy. It's kind of like if I would want to avoid getting cancer, I would probably eat broccoli. It's already leaking. I think I have to contain it somehow. I'm putting it on this one here because it's leaking so much. Yeah, so I'm moving the seedlings out of the soil here. And the healthy roots, they look good. I mean, the soil is really, like, I was positively surprised by the soil. Have you ever grown tobacco? I have, like, there was a time when I got started with plants and all, and I was really looking at tobacco as a plant that I would want to grow. And I might have even grown one or two at the time. I don't recall really. But I would grow it, you know. It's not that I have a limitation about what kind of plants I would grow. I love these kind of plants, you know, that actually have a use. I'm not smoking, so I'm not really it's not really something that is important to me, but I would definitely consider it. It's just that you always have to be careful when you're talking about that kind of a plant. Then you always kind of get in touch with other regulations, you know, tax stuff. So far, it was always a little too complicated, you know. But I like them as a plant, you know. It's not something that I dislike. Thank you. I don't really. I'm not a smoker. I see how like my my mother is trying to stop with the smoking, and it's so hard for her. So I'm just glad that this is something that I don't have, you know. I couldn't afford it anyways. I would probably have to grow it all myself. So yeah, maybe in the future we would see how it goes with YouTube. You know, always depends on what kind of plans, like the way the regulations on YouTube are with the monetization stuff. We will see. We will wait and see how that will turn out. And I don't want to do something where people look at it and think, "Hey, man, I should try that." You know, if you ask me, it's probably good to avoid any kind of stuff that gets you used to it. You know, I'm drinking too much coffee, and that is nothing else. So okay, let me have a look at the label here. This is a Uwe Kahle hybrid called OTO. I have no idea how it looks like. We'll water the seedlings a little bit. Hey, welcome to the live stream. I'm just reporting a little. Reporting, doing like moving the seedlings into better soil. They've been in the same soil for a good 8 months now. Like some of them, the ones that we're reporting now. And yeah, from time to time, it can really be good to ditch the old soil, especially when we're bringing them in. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. Greatly appreciated. We will see what we do. So the one thing that I like, since I'm doing the live stream, I'm spending a lot more time reporting the seedlings. Like in the past, I might have left them there a little too long. And now that we're doing it on the live stream, I'm trying to do it right. And yeah, the seedlings look great for that. Last few days, I was in the greenhouses looking at the plants and everything looked good, you know. Seeing so many healthy plants develop, it's a great feeling. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Have a lot of mutants, a lot of variegated plants. I'm still in the middle of, you know, I'm not really treating them differently. I really try to save all the plants. It doesn't matter if it's like a mutant or not. But with the kind of hybrids that I do, you often have a bunch. Like when you're using different cacti that are not made to be pollinating each other, you know, then you can from time to time have one where you get very unusual kind of offspring, very mutated seedlings and that kind of stuff. I love that. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing that I like when you have a seedling, when the offspring looks really unique. And in my opinion, like with the hybrids that we are growing, for example, we are pollinating a columnar cactus with something like candicans, you know, grandiflora. These kind of crosses have a tendency to bring out mutants. It's just something that's not made to be perfect with each other. So you always have these weird abnormalities here and there. So yeah, we will keep these inside now. We'll keep them inside. We'll water them every time the soil is dry. But I really want to wait for the soil to dry out. I will also bring in grafting stocks. We are grafting over winter. So I have been preparing grafting stocks that we can spend a little time, yeah, in winter, just grafting seedlings. That's what I want to do in winter. So here's another one. Sometimes you can see that the top layer has a dirty kind of look to it. You know, like you have leaves that have kind of started to rot on the top layer. I really try to avoid that. These don't look too bad in regards to the roots, but we are still changing. We're still moving them into a different medium. Like it's probably a similar medium, like similar type of soil, but fresh. So yeah, and next year we are growing more tomatoes. I am amazed by my tomatoes. The tomatoes that we have grown on the live stream are so good that animals from the forest have been stealing tomatoes. I've recently realized that one tomato was ripe and the next day it was gone. I'm not sure what kind of animal it was, but yeah, I like that something is eating my vegetables. Always good when the stuff you grow is of use. So this is the first generation soil, by the way, that was on these seedlings, and it was really good. Very organic soil, had big pieces of root bark in it, and the cacti liked it. Cacti looked really, really healthy in that soil. So maybe we are using it again, or maybe we're mixing it, maybe 50-50, something like that, with coconut fiber. If the coconut fiber has a poor performance over winter, then we're mixing it. So yeah, always removing the soil from the root here. I want them to get a new start, new beginning. I'm so happy that we have reached the weekend. It was time, you know? It was really time. For me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, every day I enjoy my work. I enjoy doing the live stream, so it doesn't matter. I don't look at it like work. But I really enjoy when the weekend is when everything is closed, you know, like when there's no reason for someone to come over. I really enjoy that. I enjoy when the banks are closed. That's a good thing with these banks. I mean, if you need to make a money transfer fast, then it's absolutely annoying. But I like that over the weekend, the banks are still closed. When they're going to deduct something from your account, it's not going to happen over the weekend. And that is something that I really enjoy. I don't have to check because during the week, I constantly have to check the bank account, got to make sure that everything is getting paid on time. And on the weekend, that doesn't happen. You can just chill. The bank people are not working over the weekend. It's like something from another world, you know? I appreciate that. Also like when I'm not getting mail. Very often the mail that I get, like in the past, was usually something like where someone wanted to send me a bill or something, you know? That's why I really enjoy the weekend. Really like it. So, I have all the seedlings out of the soil. I think these are Lubivia winteriana seedlings. I couldn't find a label, but they have to be something like that. So I'm just watering them a little bit so I can push them into the soil a little easier. It will take time for the seedlings to really grow into this new soil. So in the beginning, I really try to get it right, really try to get them in, have them solid, connected to the soil. And the more often you water later, the more often the thing compacts, like the soil sinks down a little. And that's actually good. They will eventually sink in and kind of start growing into the medium. So yeah, I'm pushing them in, and then we're watering them again in a few days. Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's raining. A little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Just enough that Kami doesn't want to go out so often. And it's really cold, by the way. It's really, really cold. This morning I felt like, okay, this is really feeling like Halloween now. It's totally okay to start Halloween early this year. and I don't feel like guilty about it at all. Okay, yeah. So let's see if we find the label. Oh, here, no, I found another seedling that was completely covered by soil. Wait, here's another one. Sometimes you have seedlings that are germinating in different, like at different height, and you don't see them until you're repotting. So, and I really miss the indoor live stream. I mean, it's raining, but I think even if it weren't raining, we would be inside today. Starting to kind of bring everything back in. And it will be interesting to overwinter the plants from outside indoors again. I hope I can get them clean from insects and all, Like the chilies, I want to overwinter them. I want to keep them. I don't grow these amazing plants and then let them go to waste after just one season. So we will try to grow them over winter. I hope that will be okay. I'm a little worried about stuff like mealybug, I don't want to have mealybug inside. And that's what usually I wouldn't really bring plants like that from outside into the house. You have to have certain kind of quarantine zones where you keep the plants that are new. And so bringing something in again after it was outside, that can backfire pretty badly. Got to be a little careful. From time to time, when you have the cacti outside in the garden, you see all kinds of insects, like roaches. I don't want to have a roach in the house. Really a little worried. So yeah, getting into the winter mode again. Watering, I need to be reminded to water again. In the past, I haven't. I didn't need to do the watering. Plants, I mostly brought them out so that it rains on them. That you don't have to do so much watering. Okay, next one. Check it out. Let me see. Most of the seedlings look okay, but there's something about the soil that I didn't like. Uvocala seedlings, Uvocala hybrids. Definitely worth the effort to repot them. Always cleaning the soil, cleaning the roots, getting rid of everything that I don't need. In case you have bad luck with the mealybug. In my opinion, mealybug is one of the main things where you actually lose seedlings. That they are a major problem for little seedlings because they constantly cause infections. They're constantly sucking the root section. And when you have them, you almost always lose seedlings. And if you can decrease the chance that is happening every time you are moving seedlings, just clean it up. If you see mealybug, then I would not put them in. They need to be treated. I think it could be red spider. That there's spider mites and then there's red spider. I mean, in my opinion, it's a problem with watering. For one, when you're watering more, when you have the plants inside the house, you instantly have a different temperature and they might need more water. And if cacti are inside the house and you're not watering often, then these kind of spider-like insects, they have an easy time. That there's nothing that pushes them down. There's nothing that washes them down. So I really recommend to spray the seedlings from time to time. Really spray them. I would also try to spray them a little bit more often, because very often when I see that, like when spider mites or red spider, when these guys can take over, there's actually a reason, like a weak immune system. Very often, a weak immune system happens when the plant doesn't get enough water, doesn't get enough nutrients. So I would recommend always treat the seedlings better to give them that natural ability to withstand all that. I'm sure that most cases where you have spider mite outbreaks, they are also related to the care. Sometimes it's not enough water. Like if you look at the most common reason for these kind of big infestations, when they become a real problem, very often it's not enough water. Because if you water them on a regular basis, you often wash them away. When you're spraying the seedlings, that is always a little bit, that is a nuisance to them. It's not something where you can get rid of them, but that alone is already enough to keep the populations low, to not have so many problems. They can still show up, they can still cause damage. But yeah, I know how bad they can get. Like I've had cases when I had plants that where I wasn't sure what the problem was. I was seeing spider mites, but the spider mites were not the reason. I was just not watering enough. And then the plant wasn't watered enough, and eventually the natural immune system just gets worse. And yeah, since I'm watering more in general, I think I'm watering all kinds of plants a little bit more than most other people. And since I'm doing that, I have barely any problems with them anymore. It often has to do with the care, and you have to find the reason why it's that way in your environment. But of course, you can always have that outbreak where you did everything right. Can also happen. Stuff where I had problems with mealybug was when they were, like when you have a place where you don't get with the water. Sometimes you have plants that are shielding other plants, so you have these little dead corners where you don't get with the water, and in those spots they often reproduce like crazy, because they are not disturbed, they are not bothered by the constant watering. So since then, when I have plants, I try to keep it open. Make sure that the water gets everywhere. Okay. So I've moved these here into the new container. Now I'm watering them a little bit. Oh, there's a spider. Oh, there's a spider. I want to bring it out. Give me a second, okay? Let me see. I'm sorry, spider. I hate when that happens. Come on, my friend. Oh yeah, okay. I'm bringing it out, okay? There's almost always spiders in the pots with the plants. Nice. Fantastic. I lost the spider. And the spider is now somewhere in my house. I hate it. Yeah, at one point she jumped down. I don't know where she is. I mean, I hope the spider will be okay in the house. Always try to keep them out. Yeah, I mean, if you water them more, then the growth that you get will be a little bit less colorful, in my opinion. Yeah, but on the other hand, like the way I'm watering really quite a lot, and the plants in my greenhouse, like if it is a species that has a glaucous skin, then it's usually very glaucous. So I mean, you might be reducing the skin color a little bit, but in my opinion, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. They should still look like they are, like the species normally looks like, you know, if you're watering them a little more. When I'm watering more, I mean, a lot of people are not watering enough, you know, like in a lot of people who have the cacti in their collection and have problems getting them to flower. One thing that they usually have in common is that they didn't water enough, you know, because in nature, plants get a lot of water. Even the wild cacti, they have access to morning dew and groundwater sometimes, you know. In nature, the wild plants get quite a lot of water. And I just try to recreate the original conditions a little bit. So yeah, okay. We are putting these under the plant lamp again. I have them at 12 hours. Really want to run that thing at the minimum I can run it. I don't want to have so much electricity cost. So yeah, 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness. Yeah, and then we're bringing them in again from time to time. Here's a dried up cactus flower. I just wanted to see if this is if there are seeds in it, but this is just empty. This is just a failed pollination. Okay, let's continue. Getting a new pot here. I really hope the spider is okay. Usually when I find the insect in the house, like in one of the pots, I try to carry it out. That's what I would usually do. I like them. I like that genus. That's a good genus to have. Like over the years, I kept being more interested in them. And you don't find them so often. Maybe I'm growing more in the future. There are some rare species that are really beautiful. So yeah, these here. This is one of mine. Cactus Vers 11. Vers 11, one of the plants one of the parents here. Cleaning them up and then, I hate it. This has an infection. We have to graft this. This is a plant, we will graft this, okay? So I'm putting that into a bag here. And we will graft that later. I hope we don't find more. I hope the others are okay. Like this one had a completely messed up root system. Yeah. I can only stress how important it is to keep the mealybug away from the seedlings. So many problems with little seedlings come from mealybug. I've been treating them aggressively in the last years. Really aggressively. Oh, this is nice. It's a double header. Really interesting body type. I really like them. We really have to be careful that we're getting them through. Maybe we should use pumice with these. I really have to think about this. We will put them up. We will put them in the sowing soil now. But we could also use pumice. Pumice is a safe medium. From time to time, when I have lubivia, I use pumice. It's not my main medium, but from time to time, it can be a safer thing if you want to make sure that the seedlings survive. Pumice is usually the safer option. So eventually, we might repot them. Next ones. Also, by the way, this here, this is old oxalis. Oxalis, really aggressive weed, but sometimes from time to time, the heat is even too much for oxalis. And then later, when it's getting rainy, when you keep having like the autumn season, that stuff turns into a little fungal, like a Kickstarter for fungal infections. So I always remove that. Oxalis is also one of the reasons why you, like, if you have it once, it is incredibly difficult to get rid of it again. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great day, and thank you for spending time with us. So, these here, Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung, Cantora and Bamboy. Yeah, I mean, these are good. This is a good cross. This is a cross by Uwe Kahle combining a Gräser hybrid, like Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung, Cantora and Bamboy. These could be great. I just wanted to have a look at the root sections and all. This one here needs to be grafted. This one needs to be grafted. Yeah, okay. Well, we repot them. If one seedling doesn't look good, there's chances that the others are also affected. So this one I will select for grafting later. We will do that maybe in a video, but they need to be grafted fast. The longer you wait, the more likely it is that the infection comes back. I hate it. I hate it. So yeah, I'm getting another container with sowing soil. And that's going to be the main soil for now. I will order more coconut fiber in the next days. By the way, check out the root system. This is pretty good. This is really good. First generation soil, and this is really sick. Absolutely amazing to see. I don't know. We will check the seedlings. I want to check the root sections. I just noticed that this is really looking good. Like the soil they are in, this is not a bad soil. Still good soil. Just a little worried about mealybug. So from time to time, I tend to repot a little bit more often than than other people, than what might be good for them. Right now, they are sitting in good soil. I think we're leaving them. We're keeping them in. The way the root sections look on the first looks okay. If something goes good, if something goes well, don't change it. I think we're leaving these. Really, like when you have seedlings that are so well rooted. I was positively surprised by the soil. Hey mate, greetings to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, just going through seedlings here. I have a bunch where I'm not sure if I should report them or not. We will discover that together now. I'm just looking at everything. Like some of them have. Sometimes you don't. You have seedlings that didn't survive, and that can negatively affect the whole soil. Like sometimes you have, like if you're losing too many seedlings in one pot, it can completely spoil the soil. So yeah, now I'm looking at everything, trying to get them out a little bit. They look okay, but not good. Maybe we should report them. Born to be Wild crossed with Lobivia winteriana. We should put these into pumice. I think that's what we're doing. Yeah, these will go into pumice. Mineral medium. I really try to avoid mineral medium, but there are cases when I feel like it's safer, and it's usually with Lobivia. A lot of Lobivia really thrive in mineral media. So then this is one where we should single them out. They're too close, too many in one pot. So we are opening that up. Also, Uwe Kahle seedlings. I really wanted to have a look in between the plants. Checking them, checking the root section. Looking for problems, looking for infections. Sometimes you have seedlings in the middle that have something. Yeah, we should definitely... we are moving a few of them out of the pot. Basically opening up a second pot with them. And I'm just taking out the ones that are already deprived of space. The stuff that's in the, like, really close to the edge that would eventually fall down, or that would eventually not have enough space. Singling them out a little bit. Taking out the ones that might be the biggest problem later on. The closer you have seedlings together, the faster infection can spread. It's not a thing that's generally bad. Like having plants close to each other can also be good. But it just creates a bridge where the infection can go over. Okay. Yeah, this is enough. I've pulled them apart a little bit. And I check them. I really check them and to see if they are really connected to the soil and they all feel okay. If you feel like if you're wiggling around and suddenly you have the seedling in the hand, that is a sign that you might have a general problem in that pot. General problem with something like mealybug. The water can has leaked the whole desk. I have a complicated relationship with our water can here. It is a fantastic water can, but it's also really leaking. It's leaking more than any water can should leak. So yeah, I'm just moving the seedlings in the soil. They look okay. All of them. Like I haven't seen any big problems on the root section. The sooner you are taking these big containers apart, the better. Because eventually they will run out of space. If you have seedlings too close together, they will just compete for the space. And yeah, you will have certain seedlings that get more water than others, and then you lose those. Like you lose the others that don't have a good position in the pot. If you really want to grow as many seedlings as possible, start singling them out early. If we would be doing it, we should be like singling them out at this point, you know. We could be putting these into every seedling separate tiny pot. We could be doing that too, and it would be okay. You know, you could already start singling them out. I've seen friends of mine, they are very efficient at growing seedlings. I was amazed to see how, you know, how they have a system going from sowing out to later a flowering plant. Okay. Spraying them a little bit just to want to water them. I want to get rid of the dirt. Soil needs to dry up in between now. I really want them to sink in, really sink into the pot, get in contact with the new soil, with the new medium and all. Okay, yeah, I think this was it. These were the ones that I brought. That gives us a little time to do the seed stuff. I will try to get the desk dry again. It's kind of difficult to do anything with seeds if you have water on the desk. So I'm doing this thoroughly. I hate it. Yeah, and then we will see what we will plant. What we will plant in the next couple of weeks, maybe. We can already start. I mean, I need to bring more of these little pots here. We will be sowing out in these little square pots. So maybe we're emptying them, using new soil. Always good when you are working, when you're reusing pots, make sure to check them. It can happen so fast that you bring the mealybug inside. The medium that I'm removing here, we will reuse that. We will use that for the big cacti. I have quite a few that are in huge pots. Where we need something for drainage at the bottom. We will be using that. So, nice. So, when we're sowing out, we are sowing out with the plastic bag that we did before. Let me see if I have some. This is what we will use again. In my opinion, these were the best. This allows you to keep humidity around the seedlings, to keep them in high humidity for as long as you want. And once you are done, once you want to bring them out, you can bring them out directly in the pot, and they already have the drainage holes. You don't have to repot them. Yeah, and that's what I like about them. Saves us a little work where we otherwise would have to repot them. Most of the cases we are repotting the seedlings very early, but yeah, the fact that you don't have to do it really means something. So yeah, we are preparing as many containers as we can. And then we're sowing out tomorrow, probably. Hey, good morning. Greetings to you. Thank you for being here, mate. Yeah, we are back inside. It's apparently Halloween. I have started with the Halloween. Yeah, and now everything gets better. I really have a good feeling about it. So yeah, I might have to order new bags. I have a few more left here, but we might need more. We will be reusing them for as often as possible. Next time, I'm really trying to get good quality bags so we can reuse them more often. I really don't want to have too much plastic. But this is the one thing where plastic really helps you, like sewing out. And the fact that you can reuse it makes it a little better. Everything that can't be reused goes into the recycling bin. So at the very least, we're doing something with it. Yeah, filling up the pots with the new soil. Yeah, must have been something like that. Pagan. I don't know. I have read about that, you know. But it's not really something that I really think about much, you know. I don't care about what it is. I really like what I do with Halloween. Like Halloween, I'm not really celebrating it like other people celebrate it, you know, like going around asking for candy in the neighborhood. I'm not doing that. But I enjoy the time, you know. I enjoy watching the movies and all. Yeah, I like these kind of traditions and old customs. This isn't really a holiday that's big in Europe, you know. Hey, good morning, Robert. Greetings to you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I mean, in Europe in the last 20 years, it has kind of improved a little. Like in the beginning, I still remember when I was a child in Germany growing up, maybe 10, 12, at that time there was no Halloween, nothing. There wasn't any kind of Halloween party, there was nothing. They just didn't celebrate it when I was younger. And the older I got, the more people warmed up to this whole thing. Every year, like in German television, they were already showing the Halloween episodes of all the shows, like the Simpsons Halloween episode, you know? Yeah, and over the years, like over the last 10 years, I feel like people are starting to walk around asking for candy. And there are a lot of people that are heavily against it just because it's an American thing, like they are bringing it in like an American thing. And like you said, it probably has the roots in pagan history. It's not really that it's so American. It's just the way people celebrate Halloween in the United States is kind of swapping over to other countries, you know. And I'm seeing it in Europe in the last 10 years, seeing more and more people actually go onto the streets and asking for candy. When I was a child, they would have called the police on you. And I mean, there was something similar. There was a similar tradition called Die Heiligen Drei Könige, you know, like some sort of a Christian thing. I'm not sure what it is in English. One of the Christian holiday things. I don't really follow those. But I know that there is a similar tradition where people walked around asking for candy. It was just not in connection with Halloween. Do you still give the kids cacti for Halloween? I stopped. I stopped because last year, I think it was last year, like I had too many left. There were just too many plants that were left, and I had to bring them all back up. I ended up overwintering them in my cellar, and I hated that, you know, like I usually do this with the plants that I'm sorting out. So we will try to get rid of them in the next couple of weeks, maybe. We have to really sort out now, because the longer it takes, the less likely people want to take something from the ground that is like when you have the cacti in like last Halloween, I had placed them in a row. It looked nice and was great, was fun. And a lot of people did it, but it was really not enough to justify doing it again, you know? I plan to just put the plants on the road and hope that someone will take them. I have decided to pack a few for friends and stuff. But yeah, really, I really have to look at how many I can pack. I don't know. We will try. We will see. I have a few big plans that I'm sorting out, like old school hybrids, classic hybrids, and I will try to make sure that they are not lost. But I also have to sort out. I also have to sort out more than I used to. Otherwise, I'm ending up surrounded by cacti, being a cactus hoarder, and I can't be that. I just like out of principle, I can't do that. It's just I fought so hard to actually do something good with my life. I can't end up as a hoarder, you know. So we will sort out and try to maybe take a few cuttings here and there. So yeah, okay. Filling up another container here. And then tomorrow we will plant them out. Maybe we have a little luck with the heat. When it's getting a little hotter, we might be getting a germination rate that's a little better. I think eventually I will have to make an agreement with someone who like Uwe Kahle, he's a friend of mine, and he has he's usually selling out, he's sorting out plants at the beginning or at the he's sorting out plants that where he doesn't want to sell them separately, you know, so he's giving away 500 plants to one person, and that allows him to work efficiently, to get rid of the mediocre ones and keep the best, you know. And you have to have something like that. You have to have a system how you can really sort out effectively. Yeah, I could see that, you know. I could see that. So I definitely don't want to have that. We have to sort out on a regular basis now. And I hate it. I hate it, but we have to do it. When we're sowing out on the live stream, you know, you can't keep it all. There's so many hybrids that I have that are not really something that I should keep, you know, because it's not a hybrid of myself, like where I'm the breeder. Usually you should, as a breeder, you should try to propagate your own stuff, you know. And I have many hybrids that are most like classics. I have hybrids like Yellow California, that is amazing. Or then I have a hybrid between Gräsers Schönste and Candy comes yellow, like a yellow flower, just a great yellow flower. Yellow flowers are great to have, and you really need a good one if you make a lot of crosses that need yellow. And yeah, but that's the kind of stuff that we have to sort out in the future. Just because there are, if something is already in other collections, if other breeders are already propagating it, we are focusing on something else. I'm not sure if I've seen it. I have missed a few episodes here and there. But in the last couple years, I started watching South Park again. They are currently showing them on Comedy Central. But they are showing too many of the newer episodes and not enough of the old ones. They keep showing the same kind of episodes from 2016 that I really didn't like, and they show them all the time. But there's some amazing seasons in between, especially the older ones. Really want to see more of the old episodes. South Park is one of the shows where when it just started up in Germany, you couldn't get it. You had to buy it from like international VHS tapes. I still remember that I bought VHS tapes from England and also a few DVDs. Yeah, and it's I should have kept them. I should have kept them all. I will look into it. Thank you. I'll check it out. The way the TV works right now, you can't really look for a specific episode. You just have to hope that you are lucky and that they show it. I really find the way Comedy Central is picking episodes of South Park really weird. Sometimes they are showing the same episode like 10 times in a week. And I'm not kidding, 10 times in a week. Yeah, I mean, when South Park came out, I was already old enough to make my own decisions, you know. My father hated horror movies. Like when I was a child growing up, I was not a normal child, you know. I was autistic. I was really autistic, but I didn't know. And I used horror movies as my outlet, you know, like the thing where I was completely obsessing over it. So I had all these horror movie books, like just lexicons about horror movies, and my father hated it. He completely hated it. Yeah, I still remember that. I think he warmed up to it now, also over the years, but at the time they were really weird, behaving in a very weird way. I really need to order more of the bags. We need more bags, and we need more square pots again. I have only recently seen the newer South Park episodes, like the political ones now. I haven't really followed them, you know, like the newest episodes, they never really show those here, or they haven't shown them in the past. It has only recently started that I'm also seeing them, like relatively close to the American dates, you know. On Comedy Central, they show that the whole day. Really. And yeah, some of the newer ones are great. I like them. I really think that they have. It's super nice to see how South Park has evolved over the years, because there were years in between, like 2016 was really rough. I really hated it. So they turned around, you know, they turned the thing around. Yeah, I've seen that. I didn't like that either. That one was like, the newer ones are better again. Newer ones are really a lot better. I just hate that they will age poorly because of all the politics, you know. So much politics that's happening, that will, if like in 20 years, will not be so timeless as the other South Park episodes. But yeah, it's important that someone makes these jokes, you know, because not many TV shows have the standing that they can do it, but South Park has a lot of power, you know, inside Paramount or whatever they are now. So it's good that they are making some of the jokes that they are doing right now. South Park's really funny. It's really, like, especially the first 10 seasons. I don't know, the first seasons were really good. At the time it came out, it was something so it was great. It was something that you didn't see a lot of. I mean, today a lot of the cartoons, a lot of the television shows are like that, you know, like the animated shows. They have taken a lot of I don't know. South Park really showed them the way, you know. Everything that came later with Family Guy and American Dad and all that, you know, had a lot to owe to South Park. Yeah, that's good. I like that, you know. I like that. Too many of these comedy shows are just sucking up, you know, like they are kicking down. And I like when the people that are involved in South Park, they are at a point in their career that they're not really worried about being fired by a network, you know. I think, and that is a good thing, you know, when you can really decide you want to do it your way, and the movie studio doesn't have a lot of say in that, you know. I like when that is still possible. So yeah. I don't remember that, but looking back, it really sounds a little morbid. I'm not sure what kind of an episode that was, but it's really, yeah. Sometimes it hurts. I'm not saying that every joke they ever did, you know, was a good one. But if you look back, there were a few that were important to make in like when they came out. I also find it like that episode with Macho Man Randy Savage, the way they did it, I feel like that was also important, you know, that someone makes fun of the situation, because it has become so difficult sometimes to joke about certain things, you know. I really like of the newer episodes, the one with like the Macho Man and that and PC Principal and all. I really like that one. Yeah, it was a good episode. I mean, this is a topic where people get really enraged. I see a lot of people in my relationship that have strong feelings on that. Like, I don't care, you know. Like, I'm not competing in women's sport, so I don't really have a strong opinion on it. They just have to make sure it stays fair, you know. And that episode kind of made fun of that, pointing towards, hey, it sometimes you are trying to overdo it, you know. Like, they still have to make sure that the competitions are fair. If they have someone that wins all the prizes, might not be a great thing either, you know. So, but I still remember how the discussions on social media were. Yeah, I feel like they needed to see that episode at the time. So yeah, looking forward to see how South Park will age in the next 10-20 years. I think when I was maybe 18 when it came out. I don't know, the end of the 90s, maybe beginning of the 2000s. I'm not sure when it originally came out, but I've seen the South Park movie, and that was one of the best movies that I had ever seen. Like, the soundtrack was amazing, and I've been a fan when I was younger. Over the years, I kind of lost connection, but yeah, from time to time, I can still watch the old episodes. So yeah, okay. This is going to be our containers for sewing out. I keep them closed now. I don't want to have anything in there, anything getting there. Want to make sure that we don't have any problems with fungus gnats this year. Really trying my best. I'm not sure if we're disinfecting the soil, but we might. We will see, okay? Like, if we're having fungus gnat issues again, then we're doing something about it. Maybe we're treating it. Crazy, yeah? August 1997. That is the one thing, like, when I look at The Simpsons, I'm also a big fan of The Simpsons, and I grew up over the years with The Simpsons. I really miss when The Simpsons were had lower stakes, you know, like when the figures, when they were not really cartoonifying all the characters. When I really liked when Homer was really trying to be a good man, you know, and was constantly failing. But today I feel like so many of the characters in The Simpsons have become, I don't know, slapstick, you know? And in the first seasons, so much of The Simpsons also tried to be like kind-hearted, you know, kind-spirited, trying to be a loving father. Like I still remember that episode with the fish, you know, like when Homer ate the fugu fish and thought that his time might be up. They did really good writing at the time, and today I'm so disappointed that I'm not seeing it on The Simpsons anymore. Yeah, time flies. Okay, so let me see if I have more. I think I'm out of pots now. Tomorrow I will bring a few more. And then we are planting everything good. So let's start going through the seeds. I want to select a few for packing and a few for planting. This is the stuff that will go into the seeds for others. Shaffery red. Shaffery red is something that I have no intention of growing. I have a plant and I'm pretty sure the offspring will look very similar. This is Flying Dragon Cantora. This is something good. We should grow more of that. Charm, Shaffery red. We are splitting a bunch of these here. This is Ulf Meerbold. Ulf Meerbold, really good. Good hybrid that I have with Sörensia telegonoides. Really unique kind of flower. Unique body. Looks a little bit like Spachianus as like the body, but also different. And I want to make sure that we can spread a few of these. Oh yeah, I remember that Simpsons episode, you know? It's also another example for the fact that at the time they were really humanizing the characters a lot more than they're doing now. And it's because everything, like, they're constantly doing stuff that is unbelievable. Like the kind of plot lines that they are putting into the show. They are just too unbelievable. If they would be trying to get a little closer to reality, I'm sure people would appreciate the show more again. And I'm not sure why they're not seeing it, you know? Because it's not something, it is obvious. You see it instantly when you look at the newer episodes. They are just sometimes too goofy. I also watched another episode of Widow's Bay, and that's a great show. I really like it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Widow's Bay. Really a good show. A little bit of horror, little bit of comedy, really good. It's a show by Apple. And in regards to the shows that they're doing, gotta really say they have a lot of quality. I like that they are maybe trying to do fewer shows but better shows. You know, everything that you see on Apple, regards to the quality, is pretty good. I haven't seen that total trash yet. Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. Like sometimes The Simpsons were really hitting you in the heart, you know. And yeah, I don't get why they're not seeing it. if they would, like, if the original writers would continue to write for it, I'm sure that's what they would do again. Like that Michael Jackson episode was also very sad in a way, and that was when the Simpsons were best. Golden Age Simpsons had a lot of writing in it that just humanized the characters, especially Homer. I feel Homer has become just a horrible person, you know? And it's kind of sad because the character didn't start like that. Telegonoides. Sörensia Telegonoides hybrid Ulf Merbold. And the father was another Sörensia Telegonoides hybrid. Good. This goes in this one. Okay, next one. Yeah, we will pack more seeds in the future. I just don't have the space. I was walking through the garden, was realizing, hey, this is not sustainable. We can't grow so many. We have to give that to other people. Other people need to grow them. Like when you're a breeder, it's really important that you give out seeds like candy. Really good when people are growing your plants, because otherwise you will have many hybrids that never find into the world because you don't have the space to grow them. I'm sorry to hear, Robert. Oh, that's a shame. That's really a shame. How many fruits does it grow every year? I mean, can it grow another one? Hey, Tron, I've just seen that with Succeed. That's a lot of money. That's really a lot of money. Every time I ordered from them, stuff was really cheap. I really need to look into the shop again. From time to time, they have really good stuff. Some really rare cacti. And I remember I checked the page recently, and I found some interesting cacti that, I mean, it's not something that's completely super rare, but interesting populations that I haven't heard about before. I should not be buying any seeds, you know? I should be planting my own seeds here. Good. How many taxes? How much is the taxes, like for like in totality for the order? Like, if let's say you have $150, I didn't know that you have to pay many taxes. I know that it's Norway, right? That they have different rules, different regulations, but I didn't know that it's that much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I mean, right now, a lot of stuff's happening with trading, international trade, where it gets harder and harder to trade internationally. A lot of regulations, a lot of additional cost, taxes, import taxes, you know, and I think it will get worse. That's why I went out the seed business. I saw that. I saw it coming. That's crazy. I'm sorry to hear. Yeah. I saw it coming. I looked at the seed market and I saw that there are more and more regulations, also that keep you from importing seeds. I saw that coming. I really like them. It's a great plant to have. It would probably exceed my personal my experience range right now. But yeah, it's a nice plant. It's definitely nice that you can grow it. So this goes into, oh, we have too many seeds. Yeah, let's pack some of those. This is Arboricola and Grandiflora. Packing some of those. That's really, really good. Good stuff. We have pollinated with great parents. Gotta order new paper bags very soon. Yeah, they have really great quality of seeds. I mean, the ones that I got, I think they were all viable. And that is something that you do not have with most seed sellers, you know, like the bigger seed sellers that are carrying seeds from other people. Very often they don't have the quality control that they should have. So when you have it, it's great. I'm sure they have to try a lot of seeds. Constantly test the viability, you know. I will check out the website later. Like that in the beginning, I didn't really order there. I was just, I don't know, I was overwhelmed. They had so many different ones that I liked, you know. And then I never really ordered because the order would have been too expensive, you know. But in the last years, the older I got, the more I realized certain plants are really hard to get, and they usually have them. Some really good populations and all, really rare species. Also Echinopsis. Some very good relatives of Echinopsis bridgesi. You know, like it's not Trichocereus bridgesi, but that Echinopsis from Bolivia. That is a really rare plant, and they had 10 different local varieties of it. Really cool. I will definitely check out the Hageocereus list that they have. Hageocereus is a great plant that people should propagate because they are becoming rare. We need to get into a situation where we can, like, to save the species, you know. So many populations of Hageocereus are cleared by landscaping. Hageocereus is a genus, in my opinion. They are at immense risk that they will be lost. A lot of species. So yeah, I will check it out. I want to see what they have. I'm not sure if I will order something, but I need to check out the page again. The longer you do it, the more experience you have as a breeder, the more you look at like the seed selling sites, you look at species that are so unique, and you know, like where you see the rarity in certain botanical species that you might be able to use. There's some good stuff out there. Yeah, they have a lot of different regional forms. Okay. Arboricola, grandiflora. This was with Deserticola. Some good stuff here. We have to grow some of them too. I'm still a little bit unsure with Cerenzia arboricola. Species is great. I'm just a little worried that they might be capped in regards to the flower size. That the flower size never really exceeds a certain size. Yeah, I thought about getting me a fruit in the supermarket. Next time I'm seeing a dragon fruit, I'm just planting the seeds. Like I'm buying a fruit and I'm planting them. I really need to look at the videos. Really need to look at the pollination of the plants that we did. There are a few that where I recorded the pollination on video, so I can tell me. So when I'm watching the video, I know what I use. This year it was a little chaotic again. Next year we're doing it differently. Yeah, I think I might have seeds too, but I'm not sure if they are still viable or not. But yeah, you can get these for so cheap. Many people are just buying the fruit and then they are selling seeds, you know. That's the kind of stuff that you just have to buy in the vegetable as a vegetable, you know, not from a specialty seed seller. Definitely changes the price. Yeah, we will grow more of that in the future. I want to grow a queen of the night. These nice big, you know, big flowers. I want to have one that I can show them that people, because people constantly tell me, like when I'm posting a time-lapse video, that something is queen of the night, and I want to have a real one that I can tell them, hey guys, this is the plant that you are talking about, and the plant in my video is something totally different. So for that, I need one. And also because they look great. They're really looking great. Okay, this here is Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung. We definitely need to plant some of those too. I'm not sure what to do with them, you know? Like the Gräser hybrids, they turn into such big plants that it will be hard to really grow them out. I don't think I have space to grow out more than 10 or 20. They need to be placed at the best spot. They need to be right in front of the window. Lot of sunlight. And they get very wide. Massive plants. But yeah, really nice. Has a lot of potential for good offspring. A little bit more. Good. this year was a horrible year for the Gräser hybrids. I think not one of the ruffled Gräser hybrids flowered this year. And I have a good 5 or 6 plants. None of them flowered. Sometimes you have a climate where certain species thrive and others don't. I think that was the case again. I have seen other plants that flowered for the first time, like where I had different plants of the same species, and all of them flowered. Sometimes you really have a certain type of winter that promotes some species to thrive and others really not to. Hey, greetings to the live stream. Thank you for being here. We are packing seeds and preparing everything for sowing out. Tomorrow we are probably sowing out. And this here is a hybrid involving Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung and Cantora. Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung is a ruffled hybrid, really big flowers, nice flowers too. Tendency to be self-fertile though. I really don't like that. Self-fertility is usually something that I do not like. You can still make hybrids with them, but it makes it harder. Very often when you pollinate them, the offspring will just look like the mother or will look similar like the mother. Can still use them as father. But that's it. I still remember Cactusjerk in Germany. They have done some sort of a special evening where they have been cooking opuntia pads, and yeah, I mean I think they are very edible. You can definitely eat them. Of course, you have to be careful that you are not using pesticides on the plant that you wouldn't want to eat. But yeah, they have done that. They have cooked them. I'm not sure if they are still doing it, but yeah, if you like them, if you live in a country where you can just plant them out, you can from time to time throw one in the cooking pot. I once took over a collection with different plants, and there were a bunch of opuntia, also a bunch of frost hardy opuntia. Yeah, and I like over the years I had the plan to plant them out, and they didn't like the frost here. There are some species that are frost tolerant, you know, but I was just doing it wrong. And today I'm just glad that it didn't work, you know. Because opuntia can be really painful. Like if it depends on which species it is. The edible ones are, of course, a little bit less hard to handle. But some of them are incredibly spiny. And the spine is really painful when you're touching them. I can see that. I didn't know that that they are doing it, but it makes sense. Because they would be edible if they weren't so full of spines. Yeah, there are some countries where you have them really being invasive. Especially in the United States, I've seen like these cholla plants. That's also a type of opuntia. Slightly different, but also incredibly painful. Incredibly hard to handle. The glochids, they get stuck to your hand right away. You don't get them out. It's a really bad kind of spine. I hate it. I'm really glad that looking back, these didn't grow so well here. I would have planted them out. Who knows? Yeah, I'm sure they have kind of evolved for them a little bit more. I'm not sure since when they since when these plants are so common. Like, is cholla an endemic species in the United States? I'm not sure if they are even endemic. I could see them being, being brought there afterwards. It's a really bad kind of weed, growing very aggressively. So then we have packed these here. I'm looking forward seeing some of the seedlings here. Like the seeds, looking at the seed bags, we will grow some of them. And we will have to do we constantly have to do live stream where we're just doing seed stuff. Because so much of it has to do with seeds. I really like camels. They're really cool animals. I like them. Everything that thrives in the desert like they do, I have respect for that. So yeah, these are something that we will plant. Cleaning these up. Then I want to have a look into the, like, if I packed these already. I think I did. And then we would be using the seeds ourselves to plant them ourselves. I definitely want to grow a few. All the hybrids between something like different types of cacti, like when you have maybe a columnar as mother and a Hildewintera as father, or a Lobivia as father, stuff that is really unique. We are growing that. Which ones are they? Like, is this also Scholla or is this Opuntia? I've seen that, like, some of them can become invasive. Like, I've had situations when people wanted to have cacti that could become invasive in Australia, and I wasn't allowed to ship them. I didn't ship them, There are certain types of cacti that can really become a problem. I've constantly clashed with Australian quarantine because they very often destroyed stuff that they shouldn't have destroyed. But I always understood the importance of keeping certain plants out, Yeah, these are definitely painful too. Yeah, I mean, I think the same applies to Hageocereus, apparently. There seem to be some Hageocereus that they had also classified as wheat. I'm not sure which ones, but I think I remember something like that. Oh, I'm so happy that we have the weekend, guys. I can't believe it's the weekend. The week felt so long. The week felt like it would never end. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I'm currently in the middle, like where I live. You've probably seen the place that I live at. We have immense problems with black locust, like that tree, black locust tree. They're also called false acacia. And that's such an aggressively growing plant, very spiny plant. Then we have issues with blackberries. Blackberries also absolute nightmare fuel to remove, a very dangerous plant to handle. Like when I get injuries where I might have to, where I feel like, okay, this I might have to take medicine, like where I feel like I'm getting blood poisoning, it's very often from blackberries. And I can only imagine how bad it must be if you also have to remove certain types of shola, certain types of these Opuntia species, So I'm really thankful that we don't have them locally. Absolute nightmare fuel to remove. If you have to clear a bigger area, I think I would buy me a tank and I would just drive through. Always back and forth, back and forth. Like it's the type of stuff that where you have a hard time cleaning it by hand. Yeah, absolutely crazy plant. Cleaning up the seeds here, by the way. I want to plant these. These are really good. We should be planting at least 5 containers with just this one type. But yeah, I need to bring more. Pots. I would buy pots. I would buy new medium. Coconut fiber I would buy. And then we're repotting again. What do you mean? Like, I have no idea how you mean that, like the blackberry fruit. Is that something that very often when you find it, they have something on it? Oh, Robert, you have a cholla or what kind of a plant? I mean, we all have our tastes, I'm just saying from the point of view when you have to remove them, hard to remove. Oh yeah. I mean the blackberries, the good thing about them, and I always say that in summer and when the season is, when they're growing the fruit and all, when they're flowering, they are so full of life. So many animals on it, Oh, I understand. Okay. Hey mate, thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. That's a shame that you can't really just eat them when you find them. But it makes sense. I mean, if they have declared it as an invasive thing, maybe they're spraying them to get rid of them. So yeah, then we're ordering pots in the next days. Thank you, mate. Then we are planting maybe a couple weeks, sowing out couple weeks. Yeah, and then we have seeds again over winter. I also want to plant the chili that I have here. These are the ones that turned out so nicely, that had the variegated chili. Maybe we can get a few more seedlings. Yeah, I never really understood the difference, because in my garden, I have both. I really have both, and they are so similar, I mean, the raspberries are a little bit less spiny, I believe. If you have to handle the plant, the raspberries are a little bit easier to handle, I believe. At least that's how I know them here. The blackberries are something like the armored version of something. Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. This is going to be great. Always happy when we can do something. So this is the seeds that I packed. I just want to have a look into what I did here. I think in some cases we packed the same bag 5 times, and it's okay. It doesn't matter. I don't want to pack any more. Yeah, we put something else. We will sow these out ourselves. Yeah, exactly. The blackberries are a little bit more spiny. Okay. Takes really long to clean these. They have a lot of tiny debris that's rolling around there. We could already start planting them. We are planting them already. Now that we have it here, I would split that up over the 4 that we have. And then I will move them probably into the greenhouse. How's it going, mate? I hope everything's okay for you in Australia. Hope you're all right. I sometimes see your posts when you're digging for gold or whatever it is that you do, and it's awesome, you know? I really like that. I would do that too if we had more of it here. I would get me a mine lab detector and I would really try to find the deep gold in Australia. Maybe we're doing that one day as a side project. I would also love to see how my detector is doing in Australia, like with the ground and all, you know? I have my detector that I have is a XP. I think it's a French brand, and it's really a good detector. Thank you. So splitting them up now, trying to maybe get 20 to 30 seeds per container. Really trying to hit the center. Gotta be careful that we're not overdoing it. Kami is making weird sounds. I'm not sure what. Oh, here. I wanted to put a few more into the bag here. It kind of came out a few short for the last one. Yeah, I know, but I haven't done one myself, you know? In the beginning, when I got started, I always wanted to do a metal detecting channel. I always wanted to do one. But the legal situation was too complicated. I didn't want to go in. Didn't want to get involved with that. Legal situation in Europe is very unique with detecting. Every state is different. It sounded like a mess. It sounded like something where you have to constantly worry that you have done something, you know, where you have broken a certain state law, and then there are, you know, like you are getting in trouble for that. I didn't want to have that. But like metal detecting is an amazing hobby. Really nice. You never know what's in there, you know? That's the good thing, like the unpredictability of it. You never know what will come from it. And that's the same with the plants. You never know what you will grow. That's why I like when I have a hobby where something happens that I can't predict. I mean, yeah, they in some states you need a permit, in some states you don't need a permit. Then there are completely different regulations, really. Like every state has their own laws, and I feel like the laws that they have, they are a little bit difficult. You know, like there are many detectorists in Europe or in let's say in Germany that would love to cooperate with the authorities and would give them extensive information about fines. Yeah, but sometimes they are going after them, you know? Little bit complicated situation. Like a lot of the major fines recently have been done by metal detectorists, you know? And I think that they should make it a little bit easier for people to just come forward and say, "Hey guys, you know, I made this discovery. I don't want to have money. You know, I just want to see this thing in a museum. You know, and I feel like the legal situation, the way it is right now, doesn't really. It kind of creates a lot of barriers where some people are probably scared, you know, to do it. Yeah, it's even worse than in the UK. Like I would have loved to have the legal situation that they have in the UK, but it wasn't. Like there were, uh, like I said, you have to really get in touch with the authorities, and then if they really want to charge you, they can. I don't know. It really depends on what you do. I mean, they're not really liking that people are starting to dig everywhere, you know, and I totally understand, you know, because very often, like in the past, there were also many situations where detectorists have been treating where they have behaved like unethically, you know. There were a few cases in the news, and usually it's someone that doesn't follow the law. But there are many different people, like especially like in the States with the permits and all, you know. In my opinion, it could be great for making more discoveries that are really unique, but people often are a little scared to come forward. Like that's the opinion that I had just looking at it from outside, you know, looking at it, thinking, "Hey, do I really want to do it a YouTube channel with that?" You know, I'm glad that I didn't do it. But maybe if you have a TV show that kind of helps you with the permits and all, then maybe. I would love to one day try my luck in Australia. They have some really nice sites where you can really go deep. With a good detector, you can find something there. That's great. I love sapphires. They look amazing. I'm a really I always watch these shows that they are showing on television, you know, like metal detecting. I kind of stopped by now, but I really like these. I don't know how it's called. Opal. I really loved opal. Opal is a really beautiful stone, and when they are mining for it, I really enjoyed these kind of shows. For a while, I was watching that one big show that made it all that you know that made everything so successful, like with the Hoffmans, you know, like with the Hoffman family, and they were failing so badly at it, you know. They were like I was always watching that just to see how bad the Hoffmans are doing. I'm still following a few YouTube channels and that kind of stuff, but I'm a little bit more away from it now. That's great to hear. I would love to. I would love to take you on about that. If I'm not, if they are not, if the police isn't there to arrest me. But yeah, I definitely want to do a show like that in the future. Like when I'm really successful, you know, when they say, okay, you have to do this, and then we are paying for another show that you can do, and I would instantly do a metal detecting show. Thank you. I love it too. It's one of my favorite albums from them. So I want to cut that into 4, but I think I do not have a scissor here. Oh, I hate it. Now I have to do it with a knife. Just want to put the labels in before I forget. I will move them into the greenhouses. Greenhouses heat up quite a lot right now. And you usually have the germination temperature there. Take care, Robert. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. I think we're ending the live stream soon too. I will finish these up here, and then we will continue tomorrow sowing out more. I definitely want to plant the chili that I have here. Yeah. Charapita red, we will plant that tomorrow, and a few more of the cacti. I need to go through them. I need to really go through the seeds and pick stuff for sowing out. I assume Melbourne must be really expensive, like as a place to live. It sounds like one of those places where you can't afford to live. At least that's what I heard. Like from friends and such. Must be really hard to have a house. So in the future, we're leaving the labels in one. I don't want to cut them into small pieces. In the past, that has led to labels falling out too easily. So we are using one label per pot. Oh, I see. Yeah, I've often been talking about houses with my Australian friends, and at the time, you know, like I was so surprised because I didn't think it would be that expensive. I was very unhappily surprised by the insane by the housing prices, you know, by the everything's so expensive. Like it's always in the millions, you know. And in Europe, if you buy a house, most of the places you can still get a house for much less, you know. It's just that there are a few places like Berlin, you know, the big cities, Berlin, maybe Munich. Those cities are really expensive. An average house in Germany, I would say maybe 100,000, 150,000, but that's it. Absolutely wild. I mean, I have a house, and I've had the house since I was a young man. You know, like I bought the house when I was 20 or so, not very old, and that was a good way to do it. You know, also with taxes and all, and I wasn't ready. You know, I spent a lot of time of my life being completely overwhelmed by the fact that everything's so expensive, like heating, repairs, you know. And looking back, I was glad that I have the house, because today I would be paying the same and just be paying rent, you know. But there were many parts in, like times in my life when the house was a little overwhelming for me. Like the big land, there's really a lot of land here that I have to somewhat control. A lot of it is forest, but if a tree falls on the house of my neighbor, you know, I could be in trouble. So yeah, I like over the years, the longer I had the house, the more happy I was that I had one. Yeah, it's crazy with the million prices. I mean, Australian dollar is a little weaker, but it would still come down to maybe 750, 700,000. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really planned, you know. Like my father was having, like, my father had a company, and at the time they were fighting with the bank, and there was a battle where the bank tried to get at the house, you know, try to kind of default the loan. So we took that away by, I bought the house, and then the bank could go away, you know, could talk to the hand, you know, and that was a great way to keep the family house safe. And yeah, and since I have it, I have learned to kind of grow into it a little bit, to being a homeowner, because I was way too young. I would have needed to have more help from my parents, you know. Like my parents moved out, and they haven't been here in like 20 years. I'm not kidding. They haven't been up here in 20 years, you know, and there were some years where it was really tough for me. So yeah, but looking at the housing prices and all, it was still okay. It was still like, I've been paying up I repaid the family loan, like the house loan, and so many months there was just nothing left for food, you know, like, or for heating. But eventually it probably paid off. That was a little bit harder, you know. It was a little bit harder, but we had, like, there was a time in my life when my family had a lot of money. My father with the company, and later when the company went bankrupt, we were really poor, you know, like it went from really way up to really way down. And at that time, I mean, if you're paying something like 30K for a house in the family, you know, like that, you can, it's not so much compared to today. It also depends on what kind of a house you are buying, in what kind of a state you are buying it, you know. Like I bought me a house. I was really happy to have it, you know, with all we just had, like, the roof was done, had just fixed the roof, and the roof will hopefully be enough to last my whole life. And in that case, that is a good house to buy. Was very happy that I did it, but eventually there were many months, many years in my life where I was really poor because of it. It's not that I had the luxury to, you know, to kind of live in it and really have prosperous times. I was able to not, I didn't have to pay rent, but I still needed to pay like way too much every month to heat the house. Like these old school houses, the older houses in Europe, they are cold. They're really cold. You have to spend a lot of money to just heat the house in winter. Like with the oil heating, it costs you maybe 2K, 2,500 sometimes to heat the house just for a year. And in Australian dollar, I would say it's maybe 3K, maybe even more. Yeah, and it adds up. You know, like then you're very likely, when you own the house, you are more likely to just, sometimes when you can't afford it, you're more likely to just live in bad conditions compared to when you are living in rent. when you're living in rent, when you're renting, you demand a certain temperature in Europe. You can say, hey guys, my temperature is below 20 degrees. Please turn it up. And there's a legal protection that they have to do it, you know? But when you're living in your own house, very often you're trying to save the money. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, I really appreciate having a home, you know, like feeling home somewhere. A lot of people don't have that, especially if you are moving a lot of houses. You're kind of taking yourself out every few years, you know? It always takes a while to get grounded, to feel home. And I'm glad that I have that. It's just, yeah, it's also a lot of responsibility there were times in my life when I just wanted to sell the house. And I'm glad that I didn't do it because I would have lost a lot of money. But yeah, everything you have to put money in. And in the next years, we have to work on the house, on the channel. We will be doing that a little bit. We need to dig out the drainage because the black locust trees are growing into the drainage of the house. We have to get rid of these trees. Otherwise, they are getting closer and closer to the house. So that's the kind of stuff that we will do. Yeah, I understand. I understand if you move houses a lot. I understand. I hope it gets better. I hope you have a place where you can really start to settle in, you know? I mean, the cold, a really cold winter is something nasty. Like I've seen years where I couldn't heat the house. It was really bad. Like when you have like 0 degrees in the bedroom, it's really it can be like that. At the time when we had really bad winters, maybe 2000, 2005, we still had winter temperatures of minus 25 degrees Celsius. So it was really, really cold at the time. Today, we don't get that anymore. We have, usually in winter, you have maybe 0 degree. And most of the time it's raining, you know, every now and then you have a month or two of really cold temperatures, but the classic cold winter we don't have anymore. Oh yeah, I think I might have to do that too in the future. Like it's starting to get to the point where you cannot survive anymore in summer. Like we had summer temperatures recently for the first time 41. And inside it was sometimes unbearable. So maybe you have to get AC too. Yeah, we get minus 15 too. Like minus 15 is something that happens from time to time. It's not the average temperature, you know, you don't have it all the time. But it happens. And I hate it, you know, because if it would just be 5 degrees warmer, I wouldn't have to heat so much with the cacti. But unfortunately, I mean, you see how the climate is changing right now, and it's not a good thing. Like I said, the summers were so bad in the last years, usually with excessive heat waves. I just hope I will live long enough to actually see normal seasons again the way it was. Yeah, definitely. If you ever experience really minus 20, minus 20 is for me, that is the point when you can barely go out. You know, if you have to go out all the time with minus temperatures, really bad. It's not even just the temperature itself, it's that you have to drive, you know, like and the ice makes the roads unsafe. Happens a lot. Okay, good. -9 would be great. I would really like that. You know, then you could protect the cacti. You could put something around the cacti, and you would have like inside you would have -5, -4 maybe, and that would be enough to overwinter them. Right now, I still need to heat. I wish I wouldn't have to heat like paying the electricity for heating, you know, it adds up. Yeah, I will never get used to the cold. I kind of gotten used to the heat a little bit in the last few years, but the cold is really something I will never get used to it. If you ever experienced living in a cold house and you couldn't afford to heat, that stuff is like when our great grandparents always kept the food, you know, because they had experienced how it was when you don't have something to eat. That I really think if you lived through something like that, you never forget it. You kind of change in weird ways. Like when I think about having a cold winter, I want to like move into another country, you know? I have that instant urge. Okay, guys, I think this is enough for today. Had a lot of fun again doing the live stream inside. We will have the seedlings inside again. I always bring them in now. Every day a few where we can repot them. And yeah, we will continue to sow out now. We will start sowing out everything again. Maybe we will even try to grow a few tomatoes inside. We will try, okay? But definitely, I enjoy being back in the office. I really miss the office. I enjoy what I do here. And it was super fun again. Yeah, -12. I mean, in the last years, we are more like at -12 than -15. But it's really something that I will never get used to. And I understand everyone who hates it. I understand everyone who doesn't want to have that. So yeah, guys, I wish you a great day. I wish you a great weekend. Yeah, we will be doing a nice weekend. Maybe I'm doing a few videos later. I want to sort out plans. We will be sorting out a few cacti here and there. Maybe I'm doing a video with it. And then maybe we're filming another time lapse in the next days. We will see. But yeah, we are back inside, back in the office. And from time to time, we're going out. Wishing you a great time, everyone. Thank you for having been here. I greatly appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. I'll be back again tomorrow, same time. Wishing you a great Friday. Thank you, everyone.